On TikTok in northern Nigeria, everything feels normal. Comedy skits, love songs, dance trends. Then suddenly, the tone shifts. A few swipes later, you're staring at young men in remote forests showing off rifles, stacks of cash, or convoy scenes. These aren't hidden recordings or leaked clips. They are deliberate posts made for the feed. Nigerian newsrooms, from Daily Trust to Business Day, have reported accounts where people claiming to be bandits flaunt weapons or ransom money. So the real question is no longer, what is happening? It's why both the platform and the state fail to recognize it for what it is. Northern TikTok has its own rhythm. Fast cuts, eye-catching captions, familiar Hausa audios, and humor that leans toward shock. And the men in these bush videos aren't pushing any doctrine. They're presenting themselves the same way many northern youths do online, with swagger, bravado, and a rough rural lifestyle that the app quickly turns into content. That's why it blends so easily. The style matches everything the platform already expects. Analysts call this aesthetic camouflage, when something dangerous looks harmless because it follows the platform's existing language. So when TikTok sees men in the bush with a Hausa soundtrack, it doesn't recognize a threat. It simply recognizes a region. The problem isn't the imagery. It's the blind spot built into the machine. TikTok's moderation understands global symbols, English slogans, Arabic chants, flags, logos, but it was never trained to interpret how violence is expressed in northern Nigeria. Hausa and Fulfude forms of communication, the jokes, the slang, the metaphors, even the praise language fall completely outside its understanding. A human angle investigation found that extremist and criminal networks increasingly lean on local dialects for exactly this reason. Automated moderation doesn't know what it's hearing. So the system misclassifies these posts as ordinary content, and the algorithm pushes them further because they're shocking, engaging, and quick to watch. The danger isn't that TikTok is ignoring violence. It's that it cannot interpret the cultural context in which that violence is being performed. But this blind spot is not just a tech problem. It's also a state problem. Local reporting has followed these videos for years, yet Nigeria's security agencies still treat the digital space like a side issue. Most police stations don't have internet. Many rely on borrowed tracking devices. Rural divisions often have no technical staff at all. In some cases, families of kidnapped victims are told to look for private investigators because the police cannot run digital traces. These institutions were designed for land-based threats, not the kind of online theater where intimidation and performance mix together. And while political speech online receives quick attention, criminal content often drifts untouched. Bandits posts thrive not because the state is unaware, but because the system is not built to read the signals. For many young viewers, these clips don't register as warnings. They show up like any other TikTok, entertaining, absurd, shocking, and even aspirational. When the same editing style used for comedy and romance is used to present violence, the boundary collapses. Danger starts to feel like spectacle. Violence becomes just another kind of content. Nigeria's insecurity is usually framed as a physical battle. Roads, forests, villages, territory. But part of the battle now plays out on screens, inside algorithms that cannot recognize what they're looking at. On northern TikTok, the threat isn't that criminals are hiding. The threat is that the line between performance and real violence is slowly disappearing.